right, what's up, y'all? This is BMB, B to the M to the doggone B, man. We are back again, man. We were glad to be here with you guys tonight, man. We got a good show for you. It's been a whole minute, since we've been here, so um, hopefully we can, get back on it, be a lot more consistent, so we can keep giving y'all guys this content, so you can, enjoy our show, like you guys have been doing. So. Man, I'm gonna get started with introducing my guys like I usually do. Before we start the show off, man, Brent, what's going on with you, man? What's up?
Happy Easter.
Happy Easter. Easter was like a month ago, but yes, happy Easter.
And how long last time we
it's
been
been
together?
Yeah, it's been
Happy
that
Easter,
long.
Happy Mother's Day.
Happy
That's
Mother's
right.
Day.
What else? What else? What else in past?
Memorial Day about to come up here in a few
Right.
weeks or
Right.
next week.
That's right. Easter,
So
Memorial Day. I mean
yeah,
Mother's Day.
next day is what a minute, June. What's it? Oh,
June.
Father's Day
Juneteenth.
about to come up.
Yeah, Juneteenth.
Yeah.
Juneteenth coming. Juneteenth. What else? Happy graduation. This is
Right. Yeah.
graduation season. Everybody
Graduating season. Yeah.
graduating.
Right.
Yeah, happy everything. But yeah. Okay. All right, Brent. What's up, Meldrick, man? How you doing?
Doing pretty good. Doing pretty good. It's good. It's good to be back. I ain't gonna lie. I've been missing it a little bit. So I'm glad we back.
Yeah.
Glad so we can have another conversation.
Right. Have a
I
conversation.
just want when we was doing this during well, we still in COVID, but
Uh-huh.
when we was in the thick of it, this helped me seeing y'all every week when we would
Mhm.
do the show.
Yeah.
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 That truly did help me with my mental. Every day, yeah, I talk to my parents and everything, but just the simple fact of not being around my peoples. But
Hmm.
I never told y'all that, but I want to say y'all that tonight that
Yeah.
during that time that really did help seeing, and then we would talk almost an hour after we get through with the show, just talking,
Just
making sure
talking.
we was all okay. So,
Hmm.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
amen to that.
Yeah.
We all needed haircuts and stuff. So
Yeah,
Right.
I definitely remember you met you because me and Brad we could shave. You was
Yeah.
yeah.
sitting up there looking like uh, a werewolf.
I mean, I shaved it so it
Right.
wouldn't be, but it's still like it'd be real
Yeah,
thick.
it was
Mhm.
real. I remember it was real thick.
That's true. That's true. And the pandemic changed a lot.
It
Man,
Yeah.
did.
it changed a lot. And things still are not quite the same, but it seems like it's getting back, slowly but
Yeah,
surely.
slowly but surely. It's some sense of normalcy
Yeah,
Right.
had
some
came
sense.
back.
I don't know if we'll ever fully recover. I
But it
think,
it probably won't be the
but
same again, but it'll be as close as it can get, I guess, if
Right.
that
yeah.
makes sense.
And I
Mhm.
really think them shots gonna be a yearly thing, like you have to do for flu
Mhm.
vaccines. You're gonna
Mhm.
probably need to get a COVID
Coach.
vaccine every year because
Yeah.
new. Ooh, it one of the Congressman Beatty out of Dallas,
Mhm.
he brought up a good point about climate change. She
Mhm.
said the reason why these uh, pandemics, she said, because this is not going to be the last one. She
Yeah.
said because of climate change. She said how it's steady being warm because the cold kills all that stuff. It's not. It don't get cold like it should be.
Mhm.
So she made a good point on that about why climate change is so important that you need them cold seasons to kill germs, bacteria to
Mhm.
start off the new season.
Yeah, but like you said, with global warming and
Right,
those types of things happening, things are not really dying off like they normally would, and so
right,
we're starting to see more diseases and different species that we didn't even know
right.
existed
They
out here. you know, Species going places they're not normally supposed to be.
right.
Uh,
You be looking down the street, you going like, what is that?
right. Yeah, kids and stuff getting attacked by coyotes and things. It's just wild out here.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's true, and it keeps mutating. So it's
Hmm.
almost. I guess it's kind of it's kind of probably going to be a yearly thing, like you said. If we have to get a shot or something to fight against, because it's constantly you're hearing about a different one,
Right.
all
Right.
the time in the news, and so that's a really good point. But yeah, Brent, and to your point at the beginning of the show, It is now. The more that I think about our show, it is like a almost like a therapy session. You know, sometimes
Mm-hmm.
because you just with dealing with everything you deal with, you know, during the week, and you know, even just the things you hear in the news and just what's going
Mm-hmm.
on in the world. You know, it's good to have that outlet to where you can come, you know, amongst friends and you know brothers
Right.
and just talk it out.
And
You know,
just
talk
talk it out.
about how y'all feel. You know,
Right.
and
And just
how
like what I was talking to y'all about before we click record, that helped. I needed to get that
mhm,
off my chest. So
yeah. Yeah, no, that's really good. That's real good. So just to kind of give you guys a rundown of what we're going to talk about. Um, of course, since we've been on the show, some things have happened. Even just here recently, there was a mass shooting. I would say a racist mass shooting in Buffalo that happened recently. Um,
You can say it.
yeah, no, it was
Yeah,
definitely a
yeah.
racist
tell it
attack.
like it is, bro.
Yeah. And when I saw where it happened, I was like, man, it was they were probably targeted, and that's exactly what it was. This person had targeted this area, a group of people, because of race and nothing else, and just hate,
And
pure hatred. Yeah. But well,
I think you
amazingly, he
froze.
was.
Oh.
mhm.
Oh,
You
did I?
froze, Milton. What were you
Oh, go
saying?
ahead, Mildred.
Am I back?
Yeah, you
Mm-hmm.
back.
Oh, okay. What I was saying that again, he was apprehended, unharmed, and arrested. Hmm. And he had a weapon, but he was unharmed and
Hmm.
arrested. And some other people who had no weapon
Mm.
didn't make it out.
Yeah, yeah, and and we'll talk about that too. Also, the Senate primaries have been, I think they've been going on here. I'm not sure
They
how long
still
it's
ain't
been.
declared the race in Pennsylvania for the Republican side. It's still too close to call.
Oh, really? Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And so those primaries, and that's for you got your Republican and Democratic primaries that are happening right now. So if you need to vote, definitely go and vote. If you can still vote, I'm not even sure if they can still or if we can
Well,
still
I know
vote
here in Texas we got some runoffs Tuesday. So
Tuesday. Yeah,
uh-huh.
I actually did some voting today.
Mm-hmm.
And then so yeah, you can still vote. Also, we'll talk about the passing of Kevin Samuels, which is very I would say controversial because you got mixed beliefs and
Mm-hmm.
how people felt about Kevin Samuels. And you never I don't think you ever want to see someone pass away, but some people reacted, you know, just different people reacting
Right.
differently to it to the news. We're gonna get into some CRT. I'll see what that's about later on. Um, and then our relationship. We may I think we got some relationship topics that we're going to go into, and then court sports with Mel. So if you guys kind of know
We
the
got
layout
to
of the
talk
show,
about that stuff going on with Dion and Nick Sabans and
Nick Saban, old Saint Nick.
the old Saint Nick. I
Like
guess
shit.
Nick and Dion ain't gonna do no more Affleck commercials no more.
I don't know. I hope they don't break up. I don't know. We'll see. old Shannon called him Saint Nick.
Saint Nick.
Saint Nick in prime.
I need to. I really need to start watching uh, the Shannon and Skip show.
Skip.
Skip show. Skip and Shannon, they funny. Shannon be having me
Mm-hmm.
rolling. Skip is funny too sometimes. Like
Yeah.
I like watching it. Yeah, for sure. So let's get started, guys.
Okay.
Let's go ahead and jump right into it. So as of now, 10 people, other people that were killed were in this Buffalo. Like I said, this racist attack against a black community there in Buffalo. 10 black people were killed in a grocery store, in a Tops grocery store there, um, by a gunman, a gunman that went there with the intent to shoot black people. Um, his name was Peyton Gendron. I think it's Gendron. Um, I know you guys have heard about it, read about it, even heard about some of the victims and just their families and you know what when you guys heard about it and even read about it, how did what did you guys think, and what are y'all thinking about it now, after the, I guess, just the aftermath of it?
I guess I'll give my opinion. It's almost uh a sense of again another
Mm,
one.
Hmm.
Like when is it gonna stop? Like, yeah,
Hmm.
are these people really, do they really hold that much hatred in their heart? Like really, like what is making you want to go do this? Like,
Hmm.
are they, I'm wondering if there's some, or if these are some kind of initiations for something.
Hmm.
Saying just that, hey, it's your turn. You got to prove yourself. Go to such and such and do this. Because I think the kid was what, 18?
Yeah, he
I think he
was
was
like
18
18 or
years old.
19, something. Yeah, I
Yeah,
think.
he didn't. He didn't. He couldn't think of all that on his own.
right. You know what I'm saying? So it's
Yeah.
like, because he barely old enough to even go purchase a rifle.
Hmm.
You barely old enough. And so I mean, it's almost like I said, it was one of those things that I'm like, another one. Like when is it
Yeah.
going to stop? Like, is it?
Yeah.
It's crazy to me.
Yeah. And that's a and just real quick to piggyback off you, Melda and Brent. I'll let you go.
Hmm.
You after
Take your
this.
time.
Just yeah. How did he get that? All that tactical gear that he had.
Right.
With the bread. I mean the armor vest.
Hmm.
I think he may even had like a helmet on, and you know, the guy he's like he was dressed ready to go to war. And an
They said
automatic weapon.
right. I think they
Um,
said he had a high number of rounds on him too.
yeah,
Like,
yeah,
you know what I'm saying? So,
yeah. He
and
was he
most,
was planning to kill more people than what he
right,
did.
because most of those rifle magazines, like because he had a tactical rifle, and so most of those magazines hold, I want to say, anywhere from 20, 25 to 30 rounds.
Hmm.
So I mean,
Yeah,
and if you have multiple of those, you could have did a lot of damage.
right,
Wow.
right. So how did he get that? How did this get back even past his parents? Did they
Right,
know that he was into this? How do
right.
you not know what your kids are doing or into? But go ahead, Brent. Sorry about that. I just
No,
wanted
you
to
good,
drop
man.
that.
And well, first off, his family tried to put out there that it was COVID that caused the what they call it, the wrath of COVID, and
Hmm.
the being by himself. That's what did it. That's BS.
Hmm.
Second, um, all this was pre-planned because they said the security guard, the retired um, officer that was the security guard when he shot at him, he said that he withstood the bullet so well, like he had been trained,
Hmm.
like he had been through training how to
Right.
withstand a bullet when you get hit with a bullet with a vest on.
Right.
And then as
Right.
soon as he shot him, he turned around and killed him. And it's a video out of, and I got it posted on our page on all platforms, Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram, where he saw a white man, pointed his gun at him. The white man screamed, "Ah!" He said, "Sorry."
Hmm.
He said,
Really.
"Sorry."
Yeah.
And so you knew what he came there to do. He came there to take us out, take our people out. He came with
Hmm.
the intention, I'm going to kill as many blacks as I can, because he had planned to go somewhere else and do this.
Hmm.
And he had been to this store prior just to trace out and he had everything mapped up and planned,
Hmm.
strategic.
Hmm.
I
Yeah.
can't talk, y'all, but he had it planned out to the point where how he was going to get in and get out and where he was going to go next. You
Hmm.
travel 200 miles to a mostly black area to kill people because you are afraid of being replaced. You've heard the rhetoric for the last 5 years from an orange man that's saying these people are evil. They are they're here to do us harm. I'm here. I'm your only suggestion for help. I'm your only reason for help. And y'all know I'm talking about Donald Trump. He heard those. He listened to the rhetoric on Fox News from Tucker Carlson. And with this now this replacement theory, talking about replacement theory, and he heard that and he heeded what y'all was saying.
Mhm.
And somebody said, no, yeah, somebody said it was Newsmax or Fox News talked about the shooting for 4 seconds on the day that it happened. And yeah, one thing I am fearful because there was a shooting in a church later on that Sunday. It happened on Saturday. It was a church shooting while we
Mhm.
was in church, and it just makes me fearful sometimes because my mom always calls. She said, "Where you finna go? Call me when you make it home, or text me when you make it there." I'm 36-year-old man, and she's still that somewhat baby in me. Now it seems like I got to do that for her when she go to the grocery store
Right.
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
it could happen to us and our families.
Mhm.
I sometimes feel like there's a target on our chest and there's a target on our back,
Yeah.
and I'm just like, is it gonna happen to us one day, and we not even know it? Of course, they didn't know it.
Right.
Some of these people that this happened to, these were church people. The pastor came up and talked about some of the members. They were members of his church.
Mhm.
Now, one
Yeah.
of them, she fed the homeless every Saturday, no evil in her heart, and he didn't even take an inkling to say. And it just takes you back to South Carolina. What happened to in Charleston, South Carolina, at Mother Emanuel? You know that boy was in that church with those people for over 2 hours, and at the end, you still sat there and shot and killed those black people, and yet we cannot get no gun reform bill, no reasonable gun reform bill,
Mhm.
and it's coming from Republicans where we cannot get it from. Democrats can present the bill, say this is what the bill is going to do, and Republicans will refuse it. Talking about that's their First Amendment right. No, Second Amendment right. I'm sorry,
Mhm.
but yet I'm like the woman after Sandy Hook. She said, "I'm sick of thoughts and prayers. I want gun reform." Why can't we not give God something to work with? You say thoughts and prayers. Give God something to work with, politicians, and get reasonable gun reform bills and acts so that this kind of stuff won't happen.
Because this
Okay.
people, most of those people, they are in fear of the, or they're taking our guns away. No, it's just making it. All it's doing is just setting parameters on how to
Mm,
legally get a gun, how to properly get a gun, and to keep guns out of the hands of people who should not have them. It's basically that's what it's doing. It's they're not trying to take all the guns away.
right.
That's not
No.
the thing.
But it's and to Brent's point earlier, and I'll say this: I know we're not calling like, and you may be. I'm just gonna say this: you may be saying this, but I'm not saying we're calling Fox and like Trump them racist, but the rhetoric they use is why
They
these
racist.
this why I'll let you say that. But the rhetoric they use is why this is happening. Um,
Right,
the things that they say because it comes off like they don't care about
right.
black people and like our community. And when these shootings happen, they barely, like you said, they barely mention it. They barely talk about it, and then they're talking about this new theory, to try to eliminate, minorities and groups of people, you know, like us. And
Mm-hmm.
Right.
so and it's fear. It's fear. They creating fear. These kids are buying, are just, they're eating it up, and I mean, I'm not saying you don't blame them, because you do. They're old enough to make decisions
Right.
on their own. But these some of these politicians, and I mean these Republican politicians, are the ones that are, I think, fueling the fire, man.
Right.
They really need to, I don't know, be censored or watch what they say, man, because it's crazy. It's hurting people, hurting other
Like
people.
President Obama said it best. He said, if I stayed and watched Fox News all day, he said, I wouldn't like me either. Because you know
I
how they
can't
talk
watch it.
about him. He
I
said, if
can't.
I
Yeah.
watched that all day,
Oh yeah. You
he
say
was
you wouldn't
saying, I
like it.
wouldn't like me either.
Yeah, right. If you watch Fox News, right, the way they talk
Right.
about 'em. Yeah, you're right.
And you
You're right.
actually white fear. This white fear, it is real. It is real, and they are scared that the power is slipping away from, and it is. It is,
Yeah.
and they're just
So
trying their
afraid.
hardest through the courts, through politics, through the laws, just to
Hmm.
try to hold on to that power, just in case, just when they do become the minority.
Hmm.
And they
Um,
and so is yeah, they so
yeah.
afraid that, and we've talked about it before, that they're so afraid that we are going to do to them what they did to us.
Hmm.
And
And
that,
see,
and
Melvin,
that could be, the, and that is so far from the truth. So
right?
far from the truth. We not trying to put y'all in handcuffs and chains and make it reverse the slavery on back to y'all. We
Hmm.
just want to be, all we want is to be equal. That is
Right.
it.
That's it.
That's all.
Hmm.
And Melvin, that, and go back to President Obama when he got. That's what they were scared. They were so scared that this man was just gonna unleash thousands of black folks to say, "Hey, go get them." Like, no,
Right.
we just want to live. We want to live the American dream too.
Hmm.
Right.
Yeah. And
Like
you,
he was gonna get it there. First order of
All
business.
right,
Revenge.
yeah.
go get them. Charge.
But also you got, there's more minorities moving, to the US, to this country
Right.
too. And
Right.
so it's not just blacks, but you got Africans, you got Indians, you got Hispanics,
Iranians.
so
In
everyone,
Asian.
it's just more, yeah, Asians, you got, yeah, so it's just, you see these communities of people popping up, and and these politicians are creating fear, man, and that's a big deal. And I think to a point that you made earlier, Mildred, also another reason why I think some of this stuff is happening is that, and I'll call it this.
Hmm.
You guys know what I'm talking about, but it's I guess the only way I can really explain it. It's a copycat spirit. That's just, I think it's just out there because when I heard about it, I was like, man, that's similar to what happened down in El Paso when
Right.
that kid drove from up here in Dallas somewhere
Allen.
Allen.
down, yeah, Allen drove from Allen down to El Paso just to shoot up some Hispanics
Hispanics in that
Right.
Walmart.
in
Yeah.
a Walmart, yeah. And so um, somehow these kids are getting influenced in these chat rooms where they're talking to each other about you know shooting places up and eliminating people.
Good point,
But
Braxton.
I think they're also they're also copying people before them. If you notice,
Right.
this guy also he live streamed it, which was a copy of someone else who live streamed the killing that they did. I
Right.
can't remember who did it first, but he live streamed it. He also drove from his town to this town, like the kid in El Paso, or like the kid from Allen did.
Hmm.
Right.
Um, and there was something else he did, but it's just a copycat spirit, man, and I don't
He
know,
broke.
it's crazy, and you just wonder when is the next thing gonna happen,
Right.
because you just never know.
Right. He
So
wrote the
yeah.
N word on the end of his gun.
I'm at,
Yeah,
here's your reparations.
yeah. And you wonder if like you said, man, you wonder if some of these people even really feel like that, or y'all just, are y'all, is this I don't know if is it initiation? Are you doing this to join a crowd or join a group of people to feel like you
Right.
belong? Do are you afraid? Like, I mean, it's I guess you can
It's
just
probably a little bit of all of it.
all of it. Yeah, yeah, a
Right.
little bit of all of it. Yeah, so
But you have some people who have those followings,
yeah,
and whoever the leader of it is, he probably could have said, "Hey, it's your turn. You
Right.
have to go execute this mission. Now
hmm,
go." You know what I'm saying? And
yeah,
that was his mission.
yeah,
The similar, maybe not similar, but the same idea of 9/11, because all those guys were sent over here on a
Mm.
mission to do what they did. You know what I'm saying?
hmm,
So it could be something of that nature.
yeah. I mean, terrorism. I think a lot of people were, worried about terrorism from, Eastern countries, and what are these other countries going to do to us?
In our
But
own
it's
backyard.
terrorism
Right.
here happening right now. Yes, domestic terrorism is what we need to be worried about,
Right.
um, which is hurting us a lot right now because there's been multiple shootings. We mentioned a few of them, but there's been multiple that happened here recently,
Right.
that we're
They
not
said
even
since the
mentioning.
beginning of the year, it's been like over 120 shootings.
I'm sure it's
I
probably
think I saw
been.
that on the news.
Yeah, it may have been. Yeah, I'm sure you're right.
And you know what? I don't want to hear on his mental health. He was sane enough to do all this stuff. And matter of
Right.
fact, let me play the clip real quick of this pastor in Buffalo who is like a main leader there. And
Hmm.
don't sugarcoat it. The woman was very
y'all hear
clear
it?
about it. We're not
Yeah.
sugarcoating it because what happened here was all about what?
This is all about racism. This is all about white supremacy. This is all about evil. I know a lot of people want to have the mental health conversation, and maybe later we can. But at this point, this was evil, and we have to face that. And anybody who does not say it was about racism, maybe they haven't read the manifesto. Anybody who says it was not about white supremacy, maybe they didn't see the map that was drawn in which he wrote he was going to kill black people. Anybody who says it's not about racism, maybe they didn't see, and hopefully they didn't, the videos and see that he targeted people of color. Well,
And also in that we've heard from police that he was here the day before.
yes.
When you look at that manifesto, there are certain things that pop out to me, certain streets. Emsley. What's at Emsley and William?
Well, what's at Emsley and William are African Americans. What's at Tops are African Americans.
But you get what he was saying.
Mhm.
Most
Right.
definitely.
Yeah.
Just they had one of the funerals today. So the
Hmm.
first of the 10 funerals what was today, and it was sad.
Hmm.
It was sad. And I don't know what to say. Tell our people you can't live in hermit in your house all the time. You got to get out, but
Hmm.
then you don't want to get killed either.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No.
Right. You got right. Like you said, you don't
I,
want to live in fear, but
and
just
I would always suggest people if you when you are out, because it's good to get out. It's good to not be cooped up. But while you are out, just always remain aware
Right.
of your surroundings.
Mhm.
I know every time I'm going somewhere, I'm looking. What I'm saying, because if it's a hot summer day and you out at the store and you get somebody that's walking around with a big heavy hoodie on,
Yeah, right.
that I'm gonna watch you a little bit to see what you got going on because it's too hot to be in a big hoodie on, something like that. And like I say, and it may not mean nothing. It's just something I'm aware of.